We've been talking about things that we like, the things that we don't like in coffee, right? In general, you know? But in this case, we're going to be talking about the Hario Mugen Dripper. This is a size 2 dripper that's right in front of me. I just made a cup of coffee and we're going to be talking about it. The reason why is because if you don't feel that I'm already honest with you, I hope that you do feel that I'm pretty honest with you, because at the end of the day, I know what I like. I know what I don't like. I'll tell you the reasons why I like it and I don't like it. And in this case, we're talking about another dripper, another Hario dripper, and whether you need it or not. So if you already have a Hario V60, you don't need this. It has pretty much the same type of groove pattern as a Hario V60, as you can see. And that's pretty much it. That's the only saving grace, I guess, about the brewer. It makes a good cup of coffee. That's not where it falls flat to me. It falls flat to me is because there's a couple things. One, as you can see, fits fine on this one. But on some brewers, when you're trying to actually use the actual brewer, it doesn't fit very well. Kind of shakes a little bit and all that stuff. So that's one thing. I just don't like this actual like conical type of design, either like a flat bottom dripper or a cone shaped dripper. Look at this. You can actually put a cone in here. You see how much more off it sits from the brewer. So that is a saving grace of the brewer. But the actual filters, these are Hario filters right here, and they don't fit very well on this actual brewer, which is kind of weird. As you see, kind of sits up top. You could pull it down. It's going to stick out a little bit. And then when you actually pour the water, it's not like actually sized correctly for the brewer, which I don't know why that's a pet peeve of mine, but it really is. Okay. And then this is probably one of the biggest gripes. It could be really shallow if I mention this, but I'll mention the reasons why I don't like this particular piece of the brewer. It has 2 holes. Okay. The 2 holes are not really that big, which is fine. I prefer brewers that either commit. You have a very small hole, like the OXO brewer over there in the back, or you have just one big ass hole, like the Hario V60s, the April brewers, just one hole. You know, the reason why is because this just drives me crazy, as you saw probably with the brewing, is that when you pour the water without the filter, they're going to go out at the same time. But when you're actually brewing your cup of coffee, one side may get a little bit more out of the brewer compared to the other one. I don't know why that's a pet peeve of mine, but to me that just rings like not evenly distracted, evenly brewed, if that makes any sense. It's just something about that design that I don't really like, and it does it all the time. If you could figure out the reasons why it does that, is in my bed not correct or something? But again, it's a brewer. We know what to do with brewers. You have a filter, you put up top, and then after you do that, you put the grounds in. And then you put the grounds in, then you start pouring your water. That's it. But yeah. You probably have something like this. Probably not this one in particular, but you already have something like this. It is a coffee brewer. It does the things that it needs to do. But for the most part, it's still kind of limiting to me. The beauty of the Hario V60, the cone shape brewer is because you can do multiple different types of papers if you want to go down that route of trying to experience your coffee that way. Okay? But the biggest gripe about this actual brewer is that you have something like it already. Something that's a little bit more versatile. Something that is cool already. And you're realizing that you're really not getting that big of a difference between this brewer versus the next brewer. Is this okay if this is your first brewer? Sure. It works. You can probably use the Quebec papers if you want to play around with the faster drawdown or play around with your technique and all that stuff. But there's nothing special about this particular brewer. It's really not. There's nothing that I see here that will give you the options, the opportunity to explore even more so. It's very limiting. As I said, you have this filter, which is fine. It has a weird type of shape to it when you're actually brewing your cup of coffee. And yes, you can use these filters too, which is pretty cool. But the brewers actually seems a lot smaller compared to a regular Hario V60 size 2. This right here mimics more like a size 1 Hario V60. And like I said, there's not that much difference. The grooves are the same. You're not going to get a significantly faster drawdown when you're actually using this brewer. At the end of the day, it's about really what you want to do. We're making a cup of coffee, right? That's what we're trying to do here. We're trying to make a really good cup of coffee consistently all the time. And with this particular brewer, you can do that. You can make great coffees out of it. I think it's great to use this for my Mocha Master because it fits perfectly in there. You can easily go as compact as you want between a 30 gram pool versus probably even a 40 gram out of this small little brewer. And that's what you want, something like nice and compact. But other than that, I think it falls short because it's not as versatile as the other brewers. If you just want to be a different person, you want to roll with this, go ahead and get this. It works great. But like I said, I think other brewers that are out there right now, they're a lot better because of the paper selections that you can do, how you can change different things up, mainly based off of the paper selection. And once you do that, I think you're going to be in a better place. And then it's going to be a little bit more versatile. You can get different recipes from different people. You can try your own recipes when you use a conical or flat bottom dripper. So that's just what I'm saying here. This I don't recommend. And you were to ask me what you should get instead. If you already have a Hario V60, get that. If you don't already have a Hario V60, get that. Because a Hario V60 is the best gateway drug to all of this. It's still the same amount of money, $10, $12. It still does what it needs to. It does a really good job of brewing a cup of coffee. You have more versatility. You can play around with different recipes. There's so many different recipes that are out there that people have provided, some that I have provided, and then that's all it really is about. You want to be able to be not limited about, you don't want to be limited with your coffee gear. You want to be able to replicate, create a good cup of coffee. And this brewer does it, but it's still limiting with all the things that I've mentioned. It may seem shallow, but not that many things that I've mentioned. But you already have a brewer. Even if you don't get this one. This one will be going in the cupboard somewhere because I want to maximize the things that I do have. I want to see what I can do in order to make a great cup of coffee each and every time. So This one does it too. It works pretty good. I have other things that work just as good. And I think you'd be perfectly fine with a Hario V60. This is Oki at Everyday Beans signing off. I'll talk to you later. Bye.